Well, hello everyone and welcome to another episode here on the MIgardener channel. I know you all are going to love this episode because it's a harvest video and a how-to all in one. So those usually go over pretty well. And it's really going to help a lot of people out, I think, because I get asked all the time, Luke, my onions look great, but how do I tell when they're ready to harvest? And so I'm going to walk you through, kind of show you my onions. We're going to harvest some, and some are bigger than others. It's been kind of a rough year for onions. We haven't gotten that much rain. It's been really hot and really dry, and it's not perfect for onions. But if you are looking at how to grow onions, this is not going to be the episode for that. I will post a card to how to grow giant onions. We have a how-to guide on that, or a complete growing guide on that. And we've had so many people write back to us and say, hey, I watched that video, Luke, and we tried it with our first year of onions, and we've gotten massive success. So thank you. So I know it's helping them out. I know it'll help you out if you're interested in knowing how to grow giant onions. But yeah, so we got our onions here. And it's not been ideal, but we are going to harvest them, and the information will still apply no matter how small the onions are. So don't laugh at my onions. But either way, they're beautiful. They're looking great. Some are ready to harvest, some are not, and I'm going to show you how you tell. All right, so the onion bed. It's looking a little worse for wear, I understand. I just came through, and my mom and I weeded this onion bed here. And when you weed an onion bed, onions get a little bit top heavy. I mean, they're already top heavy as it is, but when you weed, sometimes the dirt falls away from around the base of the plant, and the onion can kind of fall over a little bit. That does not mean that it's ready to harvest. See, you can see this would normally, if nothing was ever touched, this normally would say, okay, the onions are kind of getting ready to harvest. But because the necks are still stiff, you want to look at the necks of the onions. See, let's move some of these onions away here. Some of these are Japanese long bunching onions, and tell me if that's not a huge onion. So the regular onions here, you'll see the neck is very stiff still. It's standing up straight. Despite it being on an angle, it's very stiff. Here is an example of an onion that is ready to harvest. You'll see the neck actually turns a little white and bends flat. Here's another one over here. The onion is actually bent flat. These are ready to harvest. You want to harvest when the necks bend over. You do not want to harvest if the neck is going straight out. If there's actually rigidity left, you want to leave it because it's going to continue growing. So here's a beautiful yellow Spanish onion looking great. And we're going to harvest now because that's really all you need to know. There's nothing else. There's no other information that you need to know. If the necks are soft, they're ready to harvest. If they're not soft, let them go a little longer. And that is really as easy it is to tell when your onions are ready to harvest. And some onions will mature sooner than others. As you can see, many of our yellow Spanish onions are ready to harvest. The yellow Spanish onions are a little bit early maturing. They're not the largest size onions you're going to have, but they are going to be some of your first onions, I guess I would say. And they do somewhat have a benefit to other onions, and that is that a lot of your problems with onions, like your late season rots, your bottom rot and your top rot, those typically happen later on in the season. And when it's still really warm out, a lot of the bacteria that causes that rot isn't around just yet. So we really like these onions because sometimes we'll find that some of our other later season onions, like our Kelsey onions or Elsa Craig onions, some of them get taken due to rot. So they aren't the largest onions, but they are absolutely guaranteed delicious, and they're onions. That's really all that matters, right? So there you go. There is the onion harvest for today. We're going to take these in and let them cure. We do have a how to cure onions guide. I'll post a link to that because that'll help you all out as well. There's a specific way to cure your onions so they last for months. You're going to want to watch that if you're planning on curing your onions properly, at least. And it's really simple, by the way. So, yep, we still have a lot more onions to go. We're going to let them go and do their thing. They're going to grow nice and tall, and they're still going to continue growing for maybe another month or two. And believe it or not, we actually have another onion bed that is about the same size as this one. So they're looking great as well. And I'll bring you all along when we do another onion harvest because everyone typically loves those. So we're gonna go inside, wash these up, and I'm gonna grab some lunch. Hopefully you all are enjoying your day wherever you are. Make the best out of every day, and I'll catch you all later. This is Luke from the MIgardener channel, hoping you all are growing big or going home. I'll see you later.